everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So it's our Sunday reflection again. My name is Brian Anderson. I'm one of the co-founders of Fathering Together.
Natalie.
So what did we do today? Let's start off like we normally do. What did you do today?
We went to
Yeah, we went to the Skokie Lagoons, and did we hike around?
yeah.
And did we try and skip stones? Yeah. And did we see any friends?
Yes, Tate and Tim.
That's right. We saw my cousin, and we had a fun day with them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also a stressful weekend.
And I'm gonna be when I grow up a teacher, a doctor, and a hospital, and
You want to be a teacher and a doctor when you grow up?
and a hospital, and a doctor.
You want to be a doctor at a hospital, you mean, not a hospital. Because you can't be a hospital, right? Right, because it's a building. How about you, Clara?
I'm gonna be a construction worker, so I'm gonna be
Okay.
and a mom.
A mom and a construction worker? Okay. These are
be-
all great things
I
that
know,
you want
I
to be when you
don't
grow up.
I don't be a teacher, but a doctor
Oh, teacher and a rock star and a hospital person. Okay, great. So why is it important that we talked about these things today?
Because it's
It's not really a holiday, but it is the UN's International Day of the Girl.
what's that, Daddy? What's that, Daddy?
So it is a day that commemorates the importance that we place on the lives of our daughters, our girls, and making sure that the world is a safe space for them to grow up and, I guess, run away. But it's a day that the UN has commemorated to really empower all of us to think about the lives of our daughters and raising them in a world that is free of violence for them. Because we know that there's a lot of violence out there. We know, statistically speaking, that many women and especially girls are going to face sexual violence, gender-based violence throughout their lifetime. And we at at Fathering Together, wanted to take a moment to celebrate all of those members in our group, Dads with Daughters, who are taking steps to be advocates for their daughters and creating a world that is free of violence for them. So we commemorate you. We wanted to celebrate you and ask, what have you been doing today to celebrate your daughters and the girls in your life? But it's also important to recognize that this was a really full weekend. It was also National Coming Out Day. Yesterday was World Mental Health Day. Both really important days to celebrate here in the United States because there's so much going on in the world. There's so many stressors going on. My daughters and I, when we were out hiking, we were talking with my wife about how the pandemic is, going to be with us for a long time, and trying to set some expectations for them in the midst of kind of the chaos that's swirling around, that we're trying to keep them sheltered since they're so young. But there's a lot going on, and we're not going to be able to protect them forever, but we can take action to do what we can to make the world more equitable, more free of violence for them, so that they don't understand that the history books talk about the violence that women faced rather than what they're facing on a daily basis. And here sitting in Chicago, Illinois, there's so many privileges that we have every day in my family. And many of you listening and watching are, I'm sure, having many privileges as well. But globally, there's so many things that keep girls in harm's way. And so I challenge you all this week to think about ways that you can take action. And I've linked to the UN website that has multiple campaigns associated with the International Day of the Girl, to think about what you can be doing in the smallest of ways or the largest of ways to help protect our girls and give them a future in ways that will create new systems of hope and joy for our children. And but also recognize that holding that in balance with the stresses that many of us are facing. We've got a wellness team in Dads with Sons and Dads with Daughters that keep an eye out for our members who are struggling and are facing depression, facing joblessness, facing all sorts of untold challenges because of the pandemic, because of other things going on in their lives. And so please, 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 in in the act of thinking about what you can do and add more to your plate, that you're also keeping that in balance with what you can be doing to take some stuff off your plate and create some space to breathe, to celebrate your children, celebrate yourself, celebrate your partner. You know, so much mental health is balancing stressors, and the more we can take steps to keep our lives free of that stress, the better. And the more we can plan, and if you're a list maker, create lists or create calendars with schedules to allow yourself some breaks. I used to work on a university campus, and I would always tell students, just because you have a free hour doesn't mean you need to fill it with another meeting or take another class. Take that hour, breathe, go for a walk along the lake since we're on Lake Michigan, right? Find a space that allows you to breathe and allows you to, reflect on the priorities of your life. And for all those with daughters, for all those that have so many important girls in their lives, maybe today before you go to bed, take a moment to think about in the weeks ahead, what can I do to make sure that the world is better for them? And um, allow them that space to thrive in ways that we may not recognize because we're men, and men walk through this life very differently than women. And if you have a son, think about ways that you can educate your son to step up and take action so that they aren't replicating the systems of violence, so that they are treating women with respect, that they're treating the girls in their classrooms, elementary school, high school, what have you, with that respect as well. Because it only takes one to stand up and say, hey, something's wrong here, for others to recognize that they are not alone because they may be thinking the very same thing, right? So the challenge for you is to think about that. Hold it in tension with the mental health that you need to keep and balance yourself, but also to push yourself to go forward and say, hey, this isn't right. I'm seeing things that are not right. And it's not a political thing. It's not you know, I should say it cuts across all politics, and no matter what country you're in, no matter what culture you're coming from, you know, the worldviews that I know and trust in my friends and family are worldviews that uphold the sanctity of life in all people, no matter the age that they are, no matter the walk that they have in life. And so reflect on how you can be an advocate as a father to the children around you and celebrate those children by making the world a better place for them. And if you want some help with that, Fathering Together is here for you. We've started a new group called Dads for Gender Equity. You're more than welcome to join. It's live now. There's a link in the section below, in the comments below. Next month, we'll be launching a Dads for Racial Equity as well, so stay tuned. There'll be more on that. And if you're not ready to go there, but you're just looking for some support, we've got Dads in Recovery. We've got dads working through legal custody issues with their partners, and living in a co-parenting kind of lifestyle right now. And then we have our wellness team for our dads with sons and dads with daughters. So I know this post ran a little long today, so hopefully you're all listening through to the end with me. But there's just a lot going on, and I try to keep these shorter, but sometimes you just got to take a little bit longer to talk about the importance because, as you saw, my two girls are pretty cute. I think the world of them, and I want the world for them. And I'm sure I'm not alone when I talk to fellow dads for what they want for their children. So think about how you can do that, reflect on it, post a comment below in ways and actions or resources that you're finding that help you, because it takes all of us to do great things. As I've said before, there's not one manual to fatherhood, there's many. And so the more that we can live our life in a way that takes in the knowledge from all these different manuals from all the dads in this community to make ourselves better fathers, better men, the better the world will be for it, and the better we will be as individuals. So have a great week. Reflect again on how you can find balance in your life, but also how you can be an advocate for your children. And I will see you around the group. Peace.